Hey guys, welcome back. Just a quick video today. Recently went to Florida. Son had a national football tournament, all that good stuff. Enjoyed the trip, but while I was gone, my son, my oldest son, who drives the black Prius, the one we fixed in several videos, I'll put one up here, catalytic converter was stolen. He lives in an apartment complex. Middle of the night, they came in, cut the bolts, cut the back of the converter, and just took off with it. So I'm going through and I'm fixing that. I'm not going to do a how-to video on that, but I will link to the best how-to video on YouTube by Clint Hecht, I think his name is, if I pronounce that correctly. Anyway, link in the description. Check that out. Best video ever you will find replacing catalytic converter. Here's a couple of mistakes I made because I did not see Clint's video until it was too late. Basically, I bought the cheapest eBay catalytic converter you can find. I think it was $89. We're not a carbs compliant state, so we can get away with that stuff here. The difference is if you look at the back of my converter, there's no tapering on the back pipe. You want one, if you want an easy install, let me put it that way. You want one with that tapering on the back so it'll fit over the pipe right by the resonator, which is where they cut it off with the Sawzall, the criminals. Cut it off with a Sawzall, and that tapering will make that fit perfectly, and then you can clamp and not have to weld. Mine, the cheap one, the cheap one did not come with that tapering, so I'm gonna have to weld mine is what it comes down to, which is okay. I have a welder, I can do that. I'm not gonna do it now. I'm just gonna clamp it. It's gonna leak a little bit. We're gonna drive it until things calm down a little more. We'll take the whole exhaust off, we'll weld all the way around it, and we'll be good. But if you want the weld version, you can find that in Clint's, if you want the tapered version, you can find that in Clint's video in the description. I'll put tapered version. I'll put a link to it down here in case you want to see it. But I know people were asking on the last video on this Prius for an update on the battery situation. Battery's working great. Catalytic converter's obviously gone. So just a quick update. I know they were asking for that replacing that little thermal sensor for the battery. So far, so good. It's working. It's been a couple months now, I think. No code yet. So we're going to keep at it. I'll do another update. But just a quick video. Protect your catalytic converter if you own one of these cars. Unfortunately, times are right now that, the thefts are really ramping up. So look for that tapered version. Install was easy. Let me get to that. It was a multi-hand cut job, if you've seen my other videos. So I would not say it was super easy, but it definitely was not difficult. It's just, the problem with these is they sit so low to the ground. I use these ramps. I bought these ramps that helped quite a bit, but you can only get so high on one side when you're using ramps. So, when you get towards the back, you got a little less room to work, but the ramps worked really well. I think they were under $50. So if you don't have jack stands or a lift, really you need a lift to do this right. You can get these ramps. I'll link to those in the description too, but that's about all there is to it. Frustrating, but we're back on the road, and in long term, we're going to weld that. Probably do a video on the weld too once we take that back off. Another problem I ran into, the bolts and the springs on the new converter, they didn't match up to the nuts that are welded onto the exhaust flange by the exhaust manifold. So they gave you extra nuts to put those on. Well, you really got to press those things in because they're on those springs. That was a pain. But really the hardest part is getting that thing situated in there, the catalytic converter. You got to go past the exhaust manifold, bring it back to get it over the pipe. That was probably the hardest part, which, it's not really that hard, but frustrating event. That's where we're at. That's all we have for today. Back to regular videos if we can find some stuff to fix around here next week, and we will see you next time. Thanks for watching.